What is up, guys? It is your boy Ian, and I'm happy. I'm extremely happy because we're going to be talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just got done playing the Los Angeles Chargers, and let me just tell you, the Jaguars played a hell of a football game. It was career days for multiple Jaguar players, which, to start off, a lot of people are saying, well, Justin Herbert was hurt, Keenan Allen was out, Slater went down early. Well, not really early. He went down in the third quarter. Bosa went down in, I think, the second quarter. The Chargers did have some injuries, so we're not going to avoid that. However, the Chargers are a playoff team, and they're projected to win their division. Was Keenan Allen out? Yes. Was Shaquille Griffin out for the Jaguars, their number one corner? Yes. So, I mean, there were some things that need to be said about that because the announcers were all over the Chargers and saying how it's unfortunate that they were hurt. Yes, it is. However, Justin Herbert being hurt does not change the fact that Trevor Lawrence had the best day of his career. Justin Herbert being hurt does not change the fact that Jawan Taylor, our right tackle, had the best game of his career. Justin Herbert being hurt doesn't change the fact that James Robinson had one of the best games of his career. There was a lot of career days for the Jacksonville Jaguars that happened on the offensive side of the ball that does not get affected by Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert stayed in for the entire game, and I'm not doubtful that he was hurt. I know he's hurt, and the rib thing's definitely probably affected his play. However, to take away what the Jaguars did yesterday because Justin Herbert had a rib injury that's not cool, because the offensive side of the ball is what really flourished against the Chargers. Now, the defensive side of the ball had a career day as well. I mean, there's people that are thinking it's 2017 Jacksonville Jaguars, which it looked like. But there wasn't that. There was a lot of pressure, but they didn't get to Justin Herbert that often. Justin Herbert just, the receivers had problems getting separation. There was a lot that went wrong for the Chargers offense, and it wasn't because the Chargers offense was dismantled and hurt and blah, blah, blah. It was because the Jaguars played a very good football game. Doug Peterson coached us perfectly, it's time to put a little bit of respect on the Jaguars. That's my whole point of this part of the video. The Jaguars, there was no injuries last week when we completely destroyed the Colts, who just beat the Chiefs. Yes, the Colts didn't look very good the first 2 weeks of football, but, they're still going to contend for the division. Same with the Tennessee Titans. They're going to contend for the division. We've got division contenders on all three levels of this. I don't think the Texans are quite there. I think, this is definitely a rebuild year for them. But the Jaguars have a legit head coach that this offense is probably one of the best offenses we've had since the early 2000s. And it took a couple games to get there. But what's really crazy is this Jaguar team should be 3-0. We're 2-1. We lost to the Commanders, but we didn't really lose to the Commanders. We lost to ourselves. We created a lot of situations that we should have done better. And it was week one with a new head coach, new playbook, new everything. So, I'm not faulting them there. What's crazy is next week we play the Philadelphia Eagles, who I think is the best team in the NFC. And this is really going to be our game to earn respect. The Eagles have a chance to go undefeated into their bye week. But the Jaguars, this is the game to earn the respect the next week. But let's talk about this game, the Jaguars versus the Chargers. Obviously, you already talked about the injuries, but the Jaguars had a lot of career days. Trevor Lawrence had a career day. He looked like a number one overall pick, should look. It's crazy how much stride this team has come just by a coaching change. And then add to the fact that Christian Kirk came in and he's earning his contract. Zay Jones came in and he's earning his contract. Travis Etienne didn't look bad. He didn't look first-round pick caliber, but you got to remember he missed his entire rookie season. So this is his rookie season. He's got to adjust to the game of football. There's a lot of things he's got to adjust to, especially after taking a year off. So, like, Travis Etienne, I'm giving a little bit of a cushion, too, to where he hits his full potential. James Robinson, though, played perfect football. The 50-yard run, was awesome on 4th and 1. Perfect play design. If you look, they stack the box. So what do? They pull the right guard out to the outside and lead the way for James Robinson. He was untouched for a 4th and 1 for a 50-yard touchdown. It was awesome. Trevor Lawrence was slinging the ball, which was good to see. I still have a little bit of a concern on the defensive side of the ball, and that's the big play. Our safeties have got to pick up. We had that big bomb to, I think it was Mike Williams or Josh Palmer or something, that we really need to step up and handle. I feel like in all 3 games we've allowed really deep plays, and I get it's going to happen, but, we can't be allowing it every game. I was a little worried about the red zone efficiency at first. However, that quickly solved itself through the game. We should have went up 21-0. This should have been like a 50-point game for us. Granted, I'm happy we won 38-10 or 38-10. I'm super excited, for this football team in general. But the first 2 drives, we should have put 14 points on the board, not 6. However, our defense is playing amazing. We have a complete football team. This is a complete football team. And what's crazy is I had us at 6 or 7 wins. I could potentially, and I said our ceiling was about 10 wins. And I think we're going to get closer to our ceiling. And our floor was like 4 wins. And I think we're going to get closer to our ceiling. We will our floor. I think we have a legit shot to actually win the title, the division title. Especially with the way the Titans have been playing and the Colts have been playing. The Colts have not been playing the brand of football that we thought they were going to play coming into the season, and the Titans also. I thought they would regress. Me and Antonio, he's in our podcast all the time. Derrick Henry's going to slow down eventually, and it looked like he's starting to slow down. Still think he's a dominant runner. He's a top 10 back in the league, no doubt about that. But he has started to slow down, and the injuries are catching up to him. The usage is getting caught up. So the Jaguars really have potential to win the division. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy win, but I think people writing off the Jaguars, they're going to regret that come, week 5, week 6. The Jaguars played really good football yesterday. Perfect on offense. I really cannot. I had complaints, like I said at the beginning of the game, for the red zone efficiency, but they played a perfect offensive game. Between the play calling, Trevor Lawrence, the run game, everything was perfect yesterday against the Chargers. The defensive side of the ball, like I said, I was a little worried about some of the big plays they gave up in all 3 weeks of football. However, they locked down, the true definition of bend, don't break. That's what they did. And Mike Caldwell came in. Man, he has revamped this defense completely. And what did they do? I do understand we spent the most in free agency, so our football team should be better. But it's not like we overspent and got 22 guys. We drafted Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd. It has the potential to be the best first-round duo probably of all time. And it's way too early to say that, but Devin Lloyd already has 2 interceptions. Trayvon Walker, a sack and interception. Pressure, he's a freak. And, them two together playing are, they complement each other a lot. We drafted them 2 guys. Chad Muma's a rotational player. Snoop Connor, he's been hurt. So, these first 2 picks are really the guys that we're watching. Montarik Brown, I think, has played a little bit, but the first 2 guys are really the only guys out of our rookies that we're getting a huge shot to watch. But they're playing phenomenal. So, we got those 2 guys on defense. We got Fatu Kasi. We did get Darius Williams, and then we got Aluakon. So, 5 guys have completely changed. Well, 6 if you count the defensive coordinator, Mike Caldwell. So 6 guys have completely changed this defense. And, the guys that we were so pissed at last year are playing night and day football. They are completely different, We're not pissed at Shaquille Griffin this year like we were last year. We're not pissed at Tyson Campbell like we were at the beginning of the year last year. I think he's got a little bit of an issue with turning to the ball still, but, he fixed that halfway through the season last year. I think he'll fix it earlier this year. It's crazy just the guys that we were mad at. Marvin Jones, I think he had a decent year last year, but we weren't very pleased with him being our main free agent signing last year on the offensive side of the ball. But all these guys that they picked up are all contributing instantly. You could argue Darius Williams hasn't really made a staple yet, but Christian Kirk and Zay Jones, they're the focal point of the offense right now. Evan Ingram's made some big plays. He had a touchdown overturn. That's why I think we really should have had over 50 points yesterday. Between that one that should have been called a touchdown, there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. Whatever. That's 4 more points on the board. The 2 drives leading up the field, where we had perfect field position because of our defense turning the ball over, led to 6. It should have led to 14. We definitely should have scored over 50 points that game, which is insane. It's literally the best offensive football we've played since, we came into the league pretty much. But like I said, this is a very important thing that we need to build on. I'm super confident that we will build on it. And like I said, this upcoming game against Philadelphia is it's a statement game because there's no excuses if we play well. If we play well and we beat them, there's absolutely no excuses for the Jaguars to not get the national recognition that they deserve. And like I said, Doug Peterson came in, hell of a coach. He was the perfect hire for us. You see what Nathaniel Hackett's doing in Denver. He's struggling. McDaniel's struggling over in Las Vegas. Kevin O'Connell's not playing bad. The Dolphins head coach, McDaniel's, right? He's performing well. But that was an established team. We were not an established team, really. We needed a coach that could come in and build something. So, not to mention they spent a lot of money for agency, too, to get Tyreek Hill on their left tackle. So, anyway, guys, I just wanted to get on here, talk some Jaguar football because, yesterday got me excited to watch football this year. And I was already excited in general as a football fan, but to watch Jaguar football, I'm super excited to watch them. I think every game will be close or we're going to dominate like we did. I don't think we're going to have games where we come out and we just look unprepared like we did last year. The game that... And hang on, let me say one more thing about the Chargers. They had 10 days to prepare for the Jaguars. And we did this to them. So, that's something to keep an eye on. Teams have to really try to prepare for us, and they had 10 days and weren't able to, and they're a top contender. The Chargers, like I said, I get Herbert had a little bit of an injury, but that doesn't excuse Austin Eckler for not touching the ball at all. That's a coaching problem. Justin Herbert saying in the game when they're still down 21 in the fourth quarter, it was 10-16 at halftime. We dominated. We held them scoreless for 2 quarters. Technically 3 because they didn't score in the first. So, yeah, this Jaguar team's legit. Watch out for them. If you guys are Titans, Texans, Colts fans, this is not a thing to take lightly. I know Colts fans already know. And Duval, chalk that up as an L. You're getting 1 L a season, basically. But this Jaguar team is going to be good. And like I said, I had their ceiling at 10 wins. I see them getting 8 or 9. I don't know if we can reach that potential, but looking at our schedule, I think there's some very winnable games. I know we play the Lions, the Giants, which the Giants have been playing decent football. The Cowboys. I'm not sure if Dak will be back by the time we play the Cowboys, but we also play the Titans twice, Texans twice, the Colts one more time. I think we play the Jets. I know we play... Now I'm confident we could probably beat Denver. Denver's not looking too hot. I think we could beat the Raiders. The Raiders aren't looking too hot. So there's a huge chance that we could win nine games. I think that is a realistic expectation for us. And 9 wins could probably win this division. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. use code PIPodcast on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.